Hey there, YouTube. Corncob Piper coming at you. It is a Monday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great start to the week. Welcome to another episode of Puffin Autumn Aromatics. My journey to try some nice autumn blends that I've selected for this 2017 autumn/Halloween season. Today's selection is going to be from Russ Ouellette. And this is Russ Ouellette's candy corn. This is a burley and black Cavendish mix. It is obviously an aromatic. From all the reading that I've done, it's topped with vanilla, but I do pick up some other stuff in the taste profile. We'll get to that in a minute. This once again is blended by Russ Ouellette, who is the master blender over at Pipes and Cigars, aka Hearth and Home. He's been blending for around 30 years, has over 100 blends, and is an awesome blender. I have a tendency to favor his non-aromatic blends over his aromatic blends. I just think he does a better job of them. However, there have been a couple of his arrows that I have liked. And I recently, I don't know, maybe about a week ago, came across an article about Russ Ouellette that Pipes Magazine did. And if I can remember, I'm going to post a link down below to that article so you can check it out. It definitely is a good read. Give you some information about one of America's greatest blenders. So go ahead and readjust the camera. I'm going to show you what this stuff looks like. And I'm going to have to change up my battery too here real quick because it's about to die. Okay, so here is what this blend looks like. Now this is classified as a ribbon cut. However, I would classify this as a cross between a shag and a coarse cut. So I guess a shorts cut, whatever you want to call it. But you can see the burley in here is basically the light brown that you're seeing. And this to me looks like a shag cut tobacco. Look how thin those strands are. And then obviously all the dark black stuff is the black Cavendish. Moisture level for an aromatic, I would say, is perfect on this part. No drying time needed, at least for the batch that I've got, but quite a nice looking blend. Let me go ahead and readjust, and we'll go ahead and do a pouch note. Okay, so for the pouch note on this, what you immediately get hit with is a sense of extreme sweetness. I pick up vanilla and caramel in the scent. I do not detect any tobacco scent in the pouch note. This is definitely a very, very heavily topped aromatic. And all I really get is the topping. So vanilla, caramel, and maybe a little bit of coffee bean in there as well. And we'll go ahead and light up and we'll talk about the flavor profile of this. I'm smoking it today out of my very cool custom pipe that my good buddy Chris did. He's got a YouTube channel. Black Robe Church Brother Chris. I definitely would recommend that you check him out. But this is an awesome pipe and awesome looking for this Halloween autumn season. I do find on this blend that it does require several relights. It does not burn down to a fine white ash as for most, well actually for all aromatics, at least in my opinion. And you are going to end up with this one with some dottle at the end of your bowl as well. So the flavor profile for this pretty much stays the same from the beginning light all the way till the end of the bowl. At least it does for me. Nicotine level on this is mild. Room note is great. My wife does enjoy the smell of this tobacco. The room note. The first bowl that I I smoked of this. I smoked pretty aggressively, as I do with most tobaccos. Got a little bit of tongue bite, but with my second bowl, I slowed my cadence down quite a bit. And that tongue bite went away. So definitely one, if you have a sensitive tongue, that you're going to want to puff on slowly. If you get too aggressive with this stuff, it will end up biting you. It does burn a little bit hot. So for the flavor profile, this is to me very, very much similar to Lane 1Q. However, much sweeter than Lane 1Q. If you have a sweet tooth and you love sweet aromatics, this is definitely going to be one that you should give a try to, because this is probably, well, not probably, it is the sweetest aromatic tobacco that I've ever smoked. Now, it is named candy corn, and it's supposed to taste similar to candy corn. And speaking of that, I'm curious, is there a lot of people out there that enjoy candy corn? I've never been a huge fan, but my kids love it. It's not really a taste thing for me, because I think candy corn pretty much tastes like cane sugar. It's really more of a texture thing for me, because it reminds me of cane sugar or like Caro syrup mixed with candle wax when you eat it. And I just find it to be very, very strange and kind of like underwhelming. It doesn't have a lot of flavor other than, you know, cane sugar. But getting back to the flavor of this, if you're looking for this to taste like you're eating some candy corn, you're probably going to be disappointed. What I pick up in the topping on here is vanilla and caramel, a little bit of cocoa, nothing else. When I said this reminds me of Lane 1Q, Lane 1Q is a vanilla cocoa blend, caramel. This is very reminiscent to that. However, the vanilla taste in this candy corn is a little bit stronger. And like I mentioned before, quite a bit sweeter. I cannot discern any tobacco flavor when I'm smoking this at any point during the bowl. All I get from this is really the topping and the warmth for the smoke in my mouth. While this is not a bad blend, it's not one of the greatest either. Could be because I'm not a huge fan of Lane 1Q and I find this to be similar, just sweeter. Not a blend that I would probably revisit in the future. However, a couple good things about this blend that I could see someone wanting to smoke this. First off, will be if you are on, say, like a diet or something like that, and you're trying to cut sweets out of your diet. I think this blend, you know, at the end of a meal, would be a good substitute for a candy bar or whatever kind of sweet it is, cake that you're going to eat. Just because it's so heavily, it's so sweet. It's just, I can't really describe in words how sweet this aromatic is. And you really just, that sweetness envelops your mouth in each puff. I probably will choose to smoke this blend because I am trying to lose a few pounds when I take my kids out trick-or-treating on the 31st. Just so I don't find myself dipping in their bag and eating a bunch of chocolates as we're walking through the neighborhood doing our trick-or-treating. So not the best aromatic that I've ever had, not the worst. I would say this falls somewhere in the middle. Like I said, this will not be one that I will be revisiting. This is now my 4th bowl of this. Probably my last bowl is going to be on Halloween. My 5-star rating of Russ Ouellette's candy corn is going to be a 2 out of 5 stars. Like I said, not the greatest, not the worst. Just nothing fantastic about this blend. Unless you really, really have a sweet tooth you have a strong sweet tooth and you love sweet, heavily sweetened aromatics, this one would probably be for you. However, that does not really fit my taste profile when choosing a tobacco. However, this, is kind of fun to smoke this time of the year. Get an ounce of that for like $2.50. So if it's something you want to try, you're not going to be out a whole lot of money if you want to put some in your next order and try smoking this around Halloween. Or like I said, if you're dieting and you're trying to curb that sweet tooth, definitely would recommend this blend for that. So once again, Russ Ouellette's candy corn, 2 out of 5 stars. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Puffin Aromatic Burleys. And as always, YouTube, keep on piping.